Alright, so today on Blade District we're going to be unboxing a budget knife from Sencut. This is the, where do they put it? I know it's a Scepter. Here's the info on it. It's a pretty affordable knife. I have another Sencut unboxer where I unboxed the Honorous and I forget the other one. I'll link it up here if you want to check that out. But Sencut is basically a step down from Civivi. We have Civivi, Sencut. This little guy looked really appealing to me. Kind of similar, reminiscent of an Elementum. So we're going to compare it to the Elementum, but let's unbox it first, take a look at it, see how it feels, and go from there. If you haven't already, consider subscribing. We're going to be doing some upcoming giveaways. I actually, oh my god, it's almost hard to say. I went a little crazy recently buying Kaiser knives. Kaiser had an amazing Father's Day sale going on, Mojave Outdoor, and yeah, let's just say we got a lot of knives coming. Some of them being full frame lock titanium ones, and yes, some of those are going to be in the giveaway. Some of those are going to wait until I get into the higher subscriber though. So if you're interested in knife content and want to see more, keep up to date with giveaways, be sure to consider subscribing. So let's see what we got here. Right off the bat, I did go with the micarta. This is the gray micarta for reference. Take a look at that. We do have a deep carry. Wow, that looks really deep. Yeah, you can see that popping up. So you want something that is extremely deep carry? Well, this is going to be your guy. The closed length on this guy is 3.94 inches, according to Amazon, which is where Sencut knives are sold. I honestly don't know if they're sold somewhere else. If they are, somebody could let me know. We're going to just open it up, see how it feels, and then go over some specs and compare it to the Elementum. I believe they're going to be fairly comparable. A little bit different. This looks skinnier. Right off the bat, the handle shape looks skinnier, and the thumb studs. That's something that pops out right away. Let's see the flipper action first. The flipper is very small. Let's see. That feels good. Take a peek at that blade. Drops down a lot, actually. You see that? Maybe it's just me. I'm going to have to compare it to the Elementum, but it looks like it has a further drop than the Elementum. We have a nice kind of stonewashy finish on there. Sencut there. This is 9 CR18 MOV. I don't know if they put it on the blade. If they're anything like Civivi, then they just hide it really good. Oh, there it is. Yep, they just like Civivi. They hide it. Got to get it in the right light. It's right there. Wow, that's really smooth. All right, that is super smooth. Try thumb stutter real quick. Beautiful. That is extremely smooth. Let's see how the D10, if I go shut it closed, that's good. Because a lot of times if the D10 is too soft, you go to shut it closed like this, and you might get some pop back up. I actually like that thumb stud a lot. Little bit of blade play. Not a ton, but it's very hard to catch it on camera. It's always hard to catch it on camera. Very little. Little bit of blade play. Not sure this is the sharpest. Oh no. Maybe it's just a finger. Let's see. In hand, I have smaller hands. I'll put up a little thing right here that kind of goes over my hand size. It's lengthwise, it's not the smallest, but it's got skinny fingers. So for me, full four finger grip on this bad boy with ease. You got the pocket clip, which does come out a good amount. I don't feel it a ton, maybe because it's just chilling outside the back end meat of my hand. Some folks, like I'm gonna grip it a little bit lower. I feel it a little bit more, and that's where some folks might land. Again, it all depends on hand size at this point. So if I didn't go over it yet, this guy's pretty affordable. It's $42.50, but right now, as I'm recording this, if you go on Amazon, they have a 15% off coupon where you just kind of check the box, and then it would bring it down to $36.15. Versus the Elementum, if you just get it in like a G10, it's about 50 bucks. So 42 to 50, not that much of a difference. But 36 to 50, well, now we're talking. You know, if you want to save some money, this might be an option. If you like thumb studs, this might be an option. The micarta feels pretty nice. It's in between smooth and aggressive in the sense of the texturing. I would say it's more on the textured side than smooth. Like I have the Kaiser Beg Lighter. A couple of Kaisers are like super, super smooth. It's almost like G10. This is a little bit more texture to it. Let's see, did they do any skeletonization to it at all? Oh, they did, okay. On one side, I don't think they did anything on that side, no. Which is fine. Again, this is a budget knife. The weight on this guy is pretty light. I might bring in my own scale, but according to Amazon, they said 2.45 to 2.55, so we're going to call it 2.5. Let's bring in the Elementum now. This guy I recently cleaned. He was getting super dusty. He was sitting outside for a while. So right off the bat, he does feel a little more snappier. This is new. So let's take that into consideration. This is a rock solid. Again, I just cleaned this and put it back together recently, and I tried centering it and everything, which I think I did a good job. Yeah, this is basically centered, and there's zero blade play. The flipper tab is bigger on this. The handle does feel smaller. Let's do some comparisons. So according to some notes that I have, and I might put some info on screen as well, we have, let me put it down, make it easier for everybody. Elementum and Scepter. So the Elementum, like I said, $50, Scepter $42.50 on sale right now for $36. Blade is 2.92 inches of D2 blade steel on the Elementum and 2.97 on the Scepter, which is 9CR18 MOV. So almost the same. You know, when the Elementum is 2.9, I don't know if it's 2.9 and changed. Very, very, very similar. Weight, according to the websites, are similar but different. 2.89 ounces for the Elementum versus 2.5 ounces for the Scepter. So a little bit lighter. And it might be because the handle, you can just tell the handle scale is much, much skinnier. Just check out that side profile. You could see that right away. Couple other specs real quick. The closed handle length is 3.94 on the Scepter versus 4.03 on the Elementum. And it has a total of 6.91 for this guy versus 6.99 for this guy. So, check them out side by side. Can we actually see that difference? Yeah, you know, right here they're about side by side. Just a hair. Other than that, they're pretty similar. And blade shape is not too far off. Now, this one does have a usable choke up spot. It's not necessarily a like rounded forward choil, so to say, but you can use it. The Scepter, let's see. Yeah, just as good. Pocket clip, deep carry for both of them. Let's see. You know, they look basically, pretty, almost identical. A little more milling, taking out chunks over here. Aesthetic, weight, whatever. I don't know if there's actually a difference in that. But overall, these are pretty similar knives. And I guess it just depends. It's up to you if you want to spend a little bit more. Or maybe you have a Elementum and you just want something similar but a little bit more affordable. Maybe something you could just use and abuse a little bit more. Not that the Elementum is not technically a budget knife to start with, but at $36 with the current sale, this guy becomes a lot more attractive. You could light switch it. You could push button it. Drops down pretty good. I didn't do reverse flick yet, but oh yeah. And if you wanted an Elementum with a thumb stud, for example, this guy would be a perfect example of one. The thumb studs actually work really well. Let me whip out the scale real quick, because like I said, a lot of times they are off when I go from, you know, what they say on the website. So let's take a look at this guy real quick. Let's see what we have. Let's see if we could actually see it on here. All right, you guys might not be able to see it, so I will tell you what it is on screen. I'll have to get another scale for this. The Elementum, online, we said 2.89. I am getting, wow, 2.89. On the dot, 2.89. All right. Scepter, they said 2.45 to 2.55. I was saying 2.5 just to estimate it. Let's see what it really is. 2.47. So we have 2.47 versus 2.89. Those are the actual true weight of these two knives. In hand, you can definitely tell the thinness of this. This is much, much, much thinner. That is something you notice. Your fingers just want to wrap around it more. Like this knuckle here is wrapping around the back end already. Where here, it's just kind of laying flat. For me to wrap around, I got to put this in this weird position, and now I'm holding it not flat. If I'm holding it flat like this, my fingers are kind of laying on the side. Versus this guy, if I'm holding it in the same position, I'm almost able to wrap around the back a lot more. Let's take a look at jimping, because, well, there is none on the Scepter. So if jimping is something you're a fan of, you know, you want more aggressive cutting, you want a little bit more control, you're choking up here or something, you have the jimping. It's not the most aggressive on the Elementum, nor is it that far up the blade, but hey, it's there, and it's just something to note. Where on the Scepter, it's not there. I feel like this guy's definitely more of a hard use knife, just from the feel and overall feel of it. But if you want something a little bit lighter, maybe a little bit less pocket presence than the Elementum, maybe your Elementum is your daily carry, but you're going somewhere a little bit more fancy and you want something a little bit smaller, less presence in the pocket, this might be the trick for you. The blade does stick out more, so it might not technically take up less room in the pocket. I honestly don't think it does now that I'm looking at it like this. But it does look like a sleeker knife, and when it's open, it's definitely a thinner knife, just overall in the handle. Flipper tab being smaller might be better for some folks, like I said, if they want minimal pocket presence. But again, the Civivi Elementum just feels a little bit more well put together, which makes sense. You know, Sencut is a step down from Civivi. And you want something where you're not dedicated to a front flipper. I just called this a front flipper. A back flipper, a normal flipper, a whatever flipper. Front flippers are becoming so damn popular now, I'm going to start saying them. This guy with the thumb stud, you can easily roll it out. Oh, we got some lock stick there all of a sudden. Let's see. That's weird that it happened on the slow roll, but now when I flick it out hard. Oh, yeah. Alright, so we are already developing some lock stick. Doesn't seem like it wiggles as much. That lock stick must really be holding it in place. Let's see, ready? This happened to me with the Honorous 2 when I unboxed it. Had some pretty bad lock stick, and that one was a coated blade, everything was blacked out, so I kind of blamed it on that. I am noticing the lock stick a lot more now. Yeah, that was a bad one. I think it's going to be it for this video. Overall, it's a nice looking knife. It's a nice looking knife. If you have smaller hands, it might be ideal for you. Even if you have bigger hands, just, you know, understand what you're getting into, understand where you're going to use it. And that's going to be about it. Again, if you enjoyed the video, give it a like. Consider subscribing if you haven't for some upcoming giveaways and everything. And I will, come on, boom! And I will catch you guys in the next one. Thanks a lot.